Cannonball Eddie Martin, born February 26, 1903, Brooklyn, New York. Died August 27, 1966, just 63 years of age at the time of his death. And he would reside in his hometown of Brooklyn, New York. I'm Scrapbook Boxing. I want to talk to you about Cannonball Eddie Martin right here on the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Now, Eddie was an aggressive shortstop baseball player. As a kid, he became an enthusiast of baseball. His dream and aspirations was to become a Major League Baseball star. But he would pick up boxing at an early age. And as a professional fighter, he would have a career record of 101 total bouts, 81 wins, 29 knockouts, 12 losses, 4 draws. And he'd be stopped 3 times himself. He stood 5'3" as a bantamweight, had a 65-inch reach, and his trainer was Ray Arcel. He fought from December 1st, 1921 to May 19th, 1932. He defeated bantamweight Charlie Phil Rosenberg, New York's Madison Square Garden, April 29th, 1924. This was a neighborhood rivalry. Charlie Phil Rosenberg lived in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And you had many, many young men that became stars from age 16 to age 18. They fought all over New York. But Cannonball Eddie Martin was no exception. He would defeat New York Sacks bantamweight champion Abe Goldstein, New York's Madison Square Garden, December 19, 1924. It was in front of 13 screaming New York Madison Square Garden spectators. And they would witness a 21-year-old Eddie Martin before their very eyes become the bantamweight champion of the world. Oh. They had a ticket day parade. According to my friend Teddy, he was a Jewish man who I knew for many years. I met him in the late 1970s. Teddy had to have been about 81 years of age when I met him. And he taught me so much about the game of boxing. He taught me about the stars. Many fighters in the Jewish community, Lower East Side of Manhattan. And one of the stars was Abe Goldstein, Ruby Goldstein. You had Eddie Shea and Vincent Pepper Martin, many of them. Benny Leonard was the big name during those years. And Cannonball Eddie Martin lived in Brooklyn. There you had many Jewish stars. But Cannonball Eddie Martin would become a bantamweight star and a champion at the age of 21. He would face Todd Morgan, Davey Abad, Cowboy Eddie Anderson, Dominique Petrolin, Marty Goldman, Johnny Dundee, the Scotch Wop, Pete Saramento, a Filipino star, Carl Tremaine, and Al Singer, another Jewish star. Martin faced Charlie Phil Rosenberg, March 20th, 1925, New York's Madison Square Garden. He would lose his bantamweight championship strap 3 months after winning the crown. And what was amazing about Eddie Cannonball Martin, he had a strong constitution. He defeated Rosenberg, 1923, April 24th, 1924. Fought him January 28th, 1924. New York's Madison Square Garden, March 20th, 1925. New York's Madison Square Garden. And Eddie Cannonball Martin became the world bantamweight champion when he defeated amazing fighter by the name of Abe Goldstein, defeating him in 15 rounds. Abe Goldstein, his name was Abraham Attell Goldstein, was born September 10th, 1898 in New York, and he died February 12th, 1977 in New York, Lower East Side. Stood 5 foot 5 inches. He was a bantamweight. Had a total bout career of 136 fights, 102 wins, 35 knockouts, 9 draws. And he would win amateur events, such as the Metropolitan AAU tournament, New England, New York State tournament, the Mid-Atlantic tournament. He himself would also train by Ray Arcel. March 31st, 1921. Martin lost 2 rounds. The America's flyweight champion, Johnny Buff, New York's Casino. Johnny Buff was a pretty good fighter himself. Now to your left you have Johnny Buff. To your right, you have Abe Goldstein. These two would mix it up. 1923. Now let's take a look in the scrapbook, all Jewish fighters. Here you're looking at Charlie Phil Rosenberg. Very exciting fighter from the Lower East Side of Manhattan. New bantamweight king, Charlie Phil Rosenberg, took the title from Eddie Cannonball Martin. It was an exciting fight. It was a fight that the Jewish community was looking forward to. Charlie meets Barry Chicagoan in his own game of slugging. It was a dream fight. Rosenberg knocks out Eddie Shea. July 1923. It was at the Velodrome in New York. Cannonball Martin is to your left and Eddie Shea's to your right. He's on the scales. So in preparation for this much anticipated bout, a bantamweight champion, Joe Lynch, would lose his crown to Lower East Side's Jewish star, Abe Goldstein. New York's Madison Square Garden. Oh, what about this was. Joe Lynch and Abe Goldstein. World Bantamweight title passes from Joe Lynch to Abe Goldstein. The ring in Madison Square Garden. March 21st. Goldstein defeats Joe Lynch on points. Becomes the new champion, congratulated by his sister after the bout. Abe Goldstein takes the Bantamweight Championship belt, and I'm paraphrasing, from Joe Lynch, 15 rounds. Willie Lewis's protege. Willie Lewis was a very good fighter himself. Uses his left hand effectively, winning championship by decisive margin. As you can see, the bout took place July 10th, 1922. Phenomenal fighter was Little Hebrew. Bantamweight Kings from Dixon to Goldstein. It shows you all the champions would win that title. And here you have Cannonball Eddie Martin as he defeats Abe Goldstein. And he would win the Bantamweight Championship belt. Abe Rattel defeats Joe Berman in 12 rounds. Joe Lynch suspended. Meek's accident on the eve of the bout. New York's Madison Square Garden. Now this book I'm showing you all bantamweights. 1,000 pages. Here's Charlie Phil Rosenberg. He becomes the new champion. And he defeats Eddie Cannonball Martin. 15 rounds. And this was a big deal during those years because, as I explained to you, a friend of mine, Teddy, as a young kid himself, he remembered this and he told me they had parades all up and down Mulberry Street and all around the Lower East Side, Cherry Street, everywhere. Anytime a Jewish fighter would fight for a title. And many of them did. But this was a special moment. And he would sit down on that couch and he would explain this to me from A to Z. It was a pleasure listening to the stories. And I just wanted to share some of this with you. Bantamweight Kings from Dixon to Rosenberg. Now the last one we looked at like this was Dixon to Abe Goldstein. And this one is from Dixon to Charlie Phil Rosenberg. Amazing. Alright family, Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuff series. All great fights and all great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. I'm going to end this video by showing you Joe Lynch. Joe Lynch would take on Pete Herman. Pete Herman was out of New Orleans. And these men are on the scales as they're about to compete with one another. Every Bantamweight championship bout from the late 1800s to 1940s is in this book. 2,000 pages front and back. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.